Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to a telecast of Upper St. Clair Panther baseball here on our public access channel in the South Hills. Today, the Upper St. Clair Panthers will host the South Fayette Lions at Boyce Mayview Field. I'm Keith James. Along with me today, Dan Repeshak, joining me to look at this contest with intersectional opponents going at it today. The South Fayette Lions coming out of District 3. Dan?
Coming out of District 3, they're right in the middle of the pack, working hard to earn one of those three spots to get into the playoffs.
And their head coach, James Barton, is perhaps, how do we say, one of the more fiery coaches in the WPIAL, and he is not afraid to chirp at the umpires as the game progresses.
Positive reinforcement, always coaching, both during the game, before the game, and after the game.
Yeah, I spoke with him briefly. Also, he talked about the success that they've had and the struggles that they've had. He feels they've got a very strong pitching team with some great outings there. If he feels they're a little off in the hitting department. However, having said that, they came off a nice 15-4 win in their last game over Waynesburg Central. So the Panthers could have their hands full today. You just never know. It is baseball. It's why we play the games.
Well, Coach Barton is a past professional. He played in the professional ranks. He was a power hitter, and that's probably the strength of this South Fayette team. They're a solid hitting team, as evidenced by the last win.
Well, that'll unfold as this game goes along now. And on the mound for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, Ryan Bittner. Tell us all about Ryan.
Ryan is a senior. Ryan has a very good breaking ball, very good fastball. He has good changeup stuff, and we're looking forward to a really good outing.
All right, we'll find out with Ryan, and of course his battery mate is Ian Frazier, who's just now going over to the Upper St. Clair dugout. There will be a brief delay as he's getting some equipment squared away. Meanwhile, we'll look at Aaron Fonner to be the leadoff hitter, and while Ian Frazier's grabbing that equipment, why don't we just take a quick look at the lineup here for the South Fayette Panthers, Lions, I should say. It's Aaron Fonner leading off. Michael Fetchett is batting second. Tyler Godwin will be third, and Dylan Witt fourth, Justin Foreman fifth. Hayden Orler will bat in the next positions. Zach Walker will be the number 7 batter as the leadoff pitch goes to a chopper over to third, and there's a long throw out, and Forner is out very quickly. And rounding out the batting order is the DH Brian Coyne for the South Fayette Lions.
I'll tell you what, this is the second game that I see Joel over at the third base spot. That was a well hit ball. It actually took him to his knees, and he came up throwing and made a good throw over to Joe Repeshak at first.
Now here's a young baseball player wearing number 13 that I think has a wonderful name for his position. He's the center fielder. His name is Michael Fetchett. He looks at an offering that just clips that outside corner from Ryan Bittner. And in a second, Dan Repeshak will set the defense for the Panthers because, again, just a little bit of a shuffle here today with the lineup in the field. There's a chopper just out of the outstretched glove of Bittner over to second base. And bingo, Gannon Rooney at second. Throws over to Repeshak, and there's 2 away. Why don't we look at that Upper St. Clair defense, Dan?
Okay, Keith. In left field, we have Anthony Pizzone. In center field, Adam Kraske. And in right field, we have Ben Haas. On the third base, we have Joel Klein. At shortstop, we have Eric Krelzik. Second base, Gannon Rooney. And at first base, Joe Repeshak. Ryan Bittner's on the mound, and Ian Frazier behind the plate.
Here's the right fielder now, Tyler Godwin, stepping in for South Fayette, and he looks at a first pitch that just misses, and it's ball number 1. Ryan Bittner off, and now obviously he's only faced 3 batters, but looking very efficient with his pitches right now. And he is up and in on that one. Nice, a pleasant day, not as warm as we've had before. Ball right back to Bittner, off the heel of his glove, over to where Gannon Rooney would have been, and I believe a little bit of alley-oop there, and some extra help from the baseball gods put Tyler Godwin on.
I tell you, as good of an athlete as Bittner is, that ball was hit right at him, and he had the presence of mind to deflect the ball, and it just actually turned out to lay right in between the second baseman and the first baseman for a good solid hit.
All right, good. Godwin is on at first, and the cleanup hitter, third baseman Dylan Witt, approaches for the Lions. And now we'll see Ryan Bittner work out of the stretch with a runner at first base here in the top of the first inning. He's going to quickly throw
over,
and they got him. They got him. He had not stepped back to the mound, and Ryan Bittner came over and fired to Repechek for out number 3.
What a move by Ryan Bittner. Fantastic.
Well, and I have to say I don't know, I said, hey, a mental misstep for Tyler Godwin to get picked off, but that's a nice start for the Panthers as they hold South Fayette scoreless, the bottom of the first, on your way in just a moment. Well, Joel Klein is getting ready to come to the plate to start things off for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, and he's going to look at a defense for South Fayette that is considered to have some good gloves. My partner Dan Repechek has a lineup of what's in the field that the Panthers have to attack.
Okay, in left field we have Zach Walker. In center field we have Michael Fetchett. In right field we have Tyler Godwin. At third base we have Dylan Wilt. At shortstop we have Justin Foreman. Second base we have Pat Mortinelli. First base we have Hayden Orler. And on the mound we have Adam Nisch. And behind the plate we have Aaron Bonner.
So there you go, Nisch and Bonner the battery today. And Nisch is one of the strong pitchers that manager James Barton says he's going to really enjoy for another year. He has strong pitching. He says it's the strength of this ball club for South Fayette, and he says he gets them all back. Now, he only has 5 seniors this year. So in that regard, he has a younger team, Dan, a little bit less experience, maybe why they're in the middle of the pack. But he just loves his pitching, and we're about to find out.
Yeah, Nisch is a tall. He looks like he's about 6'1", 6'2". Comes down over the top. I'm watching him warm up here. He has a very good curveball.
And he's been firing that ball as well. So St. Clair will have to attack this fine pitching of South Fayette this afternoon, and they'll do so leading off with Joel Klein, followed by Anthony Pizzone, Gannon Rooney, Ian Frazier, Eric Krolzik, Joe Repechek, Ben Haas, Thomas Steve, the designated hitter today, and Adam Kraske is in center field. And again, if you're just joining us, there was no score for South Fayette in the top of the first. Here's the first offering, and that one comes over and away. Aaron Bonner cannot hang on. Ball 1 to Joel Klein.
I'd say Nisch has no long sleeves on a cold day like this. Wow.
Yeah, a little bit of a breeze, spotty sunshine. There's a ball on the outside corner for 1-1. Game time temperature right around 50. The sun's going to help just a little bit, but as you can see, a lot of clouds here at Boyce Mayview Field, and a much cooler day than our last game when it was 75 degrees or whatever. All right, again, here's the 1-1 from Nisch. Swung on and a miss. Joel Klein has been putting the bat on the ball very well throughout the course of the games that we've televised in the season thus far, but not on that pitch. And it's a 1-2 count. And that ball was high cheese. Strike 3.
That was a high fastball. I think Joel was looking for some sort of a breaking ball that Nisch can throw, and I think he fooled him with a sneaky fast fastball right down the middle there.
All right, Anthony Pizzone here, our left fielder. Again, you talk about another St. Clair Panther putting the bat on the ball pretty regularly. That's Anthony. There's a breaking pitch that misses on the inside, but not by much.
Anthony is having a very, very good year. He earned that starting third base, that left field spot, and he is producing at the plate as well.
Wind up in a pitch. And also looks to appear to miss on the inside, so that'll be ball 2 to Anthony Pizzone. Adam Nisch for the Lions. He catches that corner on the outside, Dan. And there's no question on the call from the umpire, John Elliott, behind home plate. A definitive strike 1. Out on the base paths, Bill Connor, the other umpire today. We're not going to have to ask John Elliott what his calls are we?
Not at all.
I love that in an umpire. He is right on top of it. Now, I told him ahead of time we were doing this game televised, and on a tape televised basis. So maybe he's inspired by being on TV.
I don't think we need to mic him up.
All right. Anthony Pizzone looks at that pitch, and it's all squared up at 2-2. There's another one. That's going to miss, and I'm so terribly sorry. It was a 3-2 pitch, and that is a walk. So we get a base runner on with a base on balls for Anthony Pizzone, bringing up Gannon Rooney.
I'd say that last pitch could have been either way. It was right on the corner there, and Pizzone gambled a little bit and came up with the ball four. It was awarded a base.
Anthony Pizzone, nice lead over at first. Hayden Orler going to try and hold him a little bit. Gannon Rooney at the plate for the Panthers. He looks at the first offering that misses, apparently on the inside, ball one.
Rooney's been nursing a nagging finger injury. He jammed it at the beginning of the season when we were down in South Carolina, and he seems to be getting over it, but he did admit that it is definitely definitely does. He has to soak it after every game.
Well, that's an ouch, but that certainly helps. There's a passed ball there, and that allows Anthony Pizzone to go to second base. So the Panthers very quickly, with one out, have a runner in scoring position. And I know Aaron Fauner tried to hustle back, but unless you're used to playing here at Boyce Mayview Field, as a lot of the high school visiting catchers are not, they don't realize that when this ball gets behind them, it's a long way to the backstop. That's regulation distance there. So Adam Neach out of the stretch for South Fayette. Pizzone at second. Here's his pitch on that outside corner, crossing it. And that's a 2-1 count, Dan.
We were out at the Mount Lebanon facility for the Thursday game, and their backstop, you can actually reach back. I think the umpire can reach back and grab the fence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a big difference on a pass ball or a wild pitch. Not so here at Boyce Mayview. And there's another pitch, and that one is going to miss outside for a 3-1 count. Gannon Rooney's got to love this one. Wheels are turning now as to what type of pitch he'll see with a runner in scoring position and a 3-1 count.
Rooney's a smart player. He is going to look for that strike right in his wheelhouse, and he will drive it.
Yeah, Gannon, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Gannon Rooney, the only Upper St. Clair Panther to date to have a home run.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. And that was a 3-run shot, I think. So now we're not looking for a home run. Just a hit right here can get us a run. The 3-1 pitch. Strike on the inside corner. Gannon did not think so. And that'll square it all up at a full count. Scoreless in the bottom of the first. Anthony Pizzone for the Panthers out on second base. Adam Neach on the mound for the South Fayette Lions. Here's his pitch. Hit long, hit deep, going down the left field line, going very far. That's going to drop to the base of the fence. Zach Walker cannot get to it. Anthony Pizzone will score easily, and Gannon Rooney has an RBI double.
Great shot by Gannon Rooney. As I said earlier, he has a lot of control at the plate. He was waiting for it and came right down the middle, and he took it large all the way to left field.
That is an outstanding ball, and I'm wondering, too, that wind is blowing from left field to right field and in just a little bit if it held that ball up, because that ball was traveling like it was going to go out. But it fell to the bottom of the fence. Zach Walker could not come up with it, and the St. Clair Panthers go on top 1-0 with a good hit from Gannon Rooney. And, of course, that brings up to the plate the cleanup batter today, which is Ian Frazier batting in the number 4 spot. Hard shot right at shortstop. Hits him in the glove. Frazier's going to easily be there. Gannon Rooney alertly does not step into that play. And we have runners at first and second now.
Rooney did hold up, and I think the shortstop actually got a little rattled. He saw him hovering and was unsure and took his mind off the play and booted the ball.
Well, Justin Foreman, the shortstop, just couldn't find the handle on it. Here comes the substitute runner for Ian Frazier, our catcher. That substitute runner today?
Michael Stevenson.
Now Michael Stevenson has wheels. Here's another one of those players on the team that Jerry Malarkey just knows has speed. And Eric Krolzik is going to come to the plate with a runner in scoring position in Gannon Rooney, and a guy fast enough that he can score if that ball gets over the head of the center fielder. It does not. Michael Fetchit does just that, and he runs down that fly ball from Eric Krolzik out in center field. So that's an F8, and the runners will hold with 2 out now. St. Clair with a little something going. I'd like to see a little bit more simply because you know the South Fayette Lions have tough pitching, and it's going to be difficult to scratch out runs against them. Joe Repeshak, our first baseman, stepping in now. Big breaking pitch, misses. Boy, that ball had movement, didn't it?
I think it dropped about a foot.
But it just missed the plate. And not so much where it starts or where it goes, it's where it ends up that really counts. Decent leads for Rooney at second, and Stevenson, the pinch runner, at first. There's a chopper that's going to go foul down the third base line. What Joe Repeshak, Dan, you know, obviously as your son, you know him well. What's his favorite pitch? What's he really feast on?
Joe loves fastballs, curveballs. He tries to take them into right field, but he is licking his chops when it's a full count, and they have to throw one in there at him.
Well, it's a 1-1 count right now. We'll see if he gets a fastball from Adam Nietzsche. He does not. It's an outside pitch, and it'll give a 2-1 count. You like that? Does Joe like that ball down and in?
He likes it a little bit high, actually.
Letter high?
Yep, letter high.
We'll see if he gets one now. That other pitch was letter high, but it was way off the plate. Nietzsche looks and delivers. He gets underneath that one, pops it right up. Who's going to go for it? That ball is going to drop in foul territory. Aaron Fauner went out. Hayden Euler came in from first base, and they also looked at Adam Nietzsche, who was drifting over that way, and it's just a lack of communication, and the ball drops. What a great opportunity for Joe Repeshak.
Well, it's time for Repeshak to take advantage of this opportunity, and as I'm listening to Coach Barton instruct the players on that last play.
Well, he talked to me, James Barton, the manager for South Fayette, he talked to me about some of the miscues that have cost them a couple of games here as their season is unfolding, and he was not happy with how, I think he used the word sloppy, how inconsistent some of their play was as we look at the count go to 3-2, and we saw it on that play. That was a matter of just someone taking command and saying, I've got it. It's real simple baseball. There's a ball forward. It goes all the way to the backstop. The runners would advance anyway, and alertly Aaron Fauner quickly gets to it. Adam Nietzsche is covering the plate, so Gannon Rooney cannot come home, but the bases are now loaded with that base on balls, Dan, and that brings up Ben Haas.
Rooney was rounding third on that, and he really wanted to go home, and Coach Malarkey held him up.
Yep, you cannot risk it when you have a chance to break out. Now, Ben Haas capable of delivering a nice hit here to deliver maybe 1 or 2 runs. Again, substitute runner on second, that's Mike Stevenson. Repeshak at first and Gannon Rooney on third. Oh, there's a pitch up in the eyes.
Little chin music there.
Yep, indeed. We got a timeout, and the manager, James Barton, is going to come to the mound, and I think he probably wants to talk more about the situation than anything else. With the bases loaded here in the first, he's got a strong pitching staff that he believes in. In fact, he had one pitcher, Dan, that in one of their games struck out 13 batters.
That's phenomenal.
Now, what's really more phenomenal, he says they lost that game, and it was a 1-run loss, but they lost that game for some other reasons. But he really would like to see his pitchers stay calm in a situation like that because he believes in the strength of his pitching staff. And Jerry Malarkey took the opportunity to talk with Ben Haas down the third baseline as he steps in now to look at a 1-0 count and the bases loaded. 2 out here. Bottom of the first, St. Clair Panthers looking to strike and open things up a little bit. There's a pitch on that outside corner. That high outside corner. That ball looks like it's going to stay up, and it comes in just enough, and Adam Nietzsche catches that corner. Haas now with a 1-1. Reasonable leads for all 3 base runners, nothing extraordinary. There's a ball that's just going to chop past the outstretched glove of Nietzsche, and it looks like we got a tag out there on Joe Repeshak coming over. The throw over to first was unnecessary, but the Panthers managed to come up with a little something on the scoreboard. 1 run. We'll take that right now as we head to the top of the second inning. Panthers 1, South Fayette nothing. Dylan Witt, Justin Foreman, and Hayden Euler will start things off as the top 3 batters here in the top of the second inning for the South Fayette Lions. Ryan Bittner now pitches one inside to Justin Foreman. Justin Foreman, the shortstop. He may be one of the largest shortstops I've seen in some time. He's pretty good size.
Big boy. I think he also plays football for South Fayette.
There's a pitch in on the hands. That's over to Krolzik at short. Easy throw
Routine.
over, and there's a routine out right there. One down in the top of the second. And that was Dylan Witt. I'm sorry, Justin Foreman coming to the plate now. Dylan Witt was the third baseman.
I see the guys out there are all blowing on their hands. A little bit of a nippy when the clouds are up or come out.
Yeah, the wind chill there could be a factor in the performance of the pitchers. We don't know if that was the case with Adam Neitz in the bottom of the first inning. Ryan Bittner working steadily, very quickly. There's a little chopper. Ryan Bittner will get to it and field it very
Great
cleanly.
play.
Plenty of time to get Justin Foreman, and there are two gone.
Very good play by Ryan Bittner. Rather than glove the ball, he actually just fisted it with his hand, grabbed the ball, slowed it down, gathered himself to make the play to Joe Repechek. Great play by Ryan Bittner.
Yeah, and he got the runner by at least 2 or 3 steps. Hayden Orler now, wearing number 12, the first baseman. He's up here and looking to see if maybe he can do something to atone for his part in that foul ball that dropped untouched in the last inning. Yeah, he may have done it. Boy, there's a high fly ball. Anthony Pizzone back ranging, and
Great
he
play.
has it. He absolutely made a nice move. That ball started to carry with the wind, and Anthony Pizzone runs it down for out number 3. A quick 1-2-3 for Ryan Bittner and the Panthers with the bottom of the second, and their bats coming alive in a moment.
Tell you what, I got up this morning and to take a walk at 8 o'clock, and it was freezing outside. It was so windy.
All right, Truck, here we go. One run in the bottom of the first for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. They're going to see if they can put some more on the board now as designated hitter Thomas Steve comes up in the number 8 position. Adam Kraske on deck. Keith James here along with Dan Repechek, and we were talking about how cool it is now, and Dan was complaining about how cold it was this morning. So, taking a walk outside, were you?
I was taking a walk with my wife. She's a speed walker, and I was breaking a sweat, trust me.
Well, I have to tell you, I didn't mind the cold weather this morning at all because I tried to sleep in. So, nice pitch by Adam Neitz. Boy, he looks like he's settled right down with 2 strikes right now quickly to Thomas Steve.
Keith, Thomas Steve is one of these juniors that could step into any of these positions on the infield and do a great job for us. He's been a starter all the way up until now, and he's just waiting. He's just waiting to produce for Coach Malarkey.
Yeah, he looks at a ball outside. I'll tell you the other thing about Thomas, as I understand it, he can swing a pretty nice golf club from what I hear.
I think his handicap is a 1.
Unbelievable. A lot of there's a ball to the backstop. Way, as they saying, goes just a little bit outside. That is the case with Thomas Steve and a lot of the different athletes in these schools now. They can excel in any one of a number of sports, and they just choose one or two to just go, well, that's what I'm going to pursue. Swung on and a miss. That pitch had juice on it, and
did. Thomas
Steve goes down swinging for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. And Adam Kraske coming up. This guy can be a track star.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've talked about his speed a number of times, but boy, he is a blur on the base paths. Looks at a pitch inside that, and he made that terrific diving catch in the game that we did against, I think that was the Peters Township game.
Township game.
Yeah, and that catch happened because of his speed. He was out in center field, and he just ran a ball in the gap down and then dove and just got it. It was as good as any Major League web gem you'd ever want to see.
I think Coach Renner wants him to be a receiver this year on the football team. I think he's going to corner him.
Well, with his speed, he could. He looks at a pitch inside, and as sharp as Adam Neitz looked pitching to Thomas Steve, striking him out, he's having control problems right now, pitching to Adam Kraske. It's quickly 3-0. And that ball misses, and there's a 4-pitch walk. And that's the wrong guy you want to put on base with an open base in front of him, because this guy has Steele written all over him. So Adam Kraske goes to first. Top of the order coming up now, Joel Klein. Looks over to the manager, Jerry Malarkey, and he gives the signals. Out of the stretch now, Nietzsche. Pausing, looking. There's that throw. That's going to miss down and away. Looking to grab that outside corner.
I think that's 6 straight balls right now. Struggling on the mound right now, Niche.
He's going to miss there. That's another one. Kraske going. Throw is high. His slide is low. He is safe.
He had a bad jump on that, and he still got in there with plenty of time to spare.
That's Adam Kraske for you, and he has given the Panthers some life now here in the bottom of the second. He's quickly in scoring position. A soft single could score him. Joel Klein, just the guy capable of putting the bat on the ball, as he looks at another pitch that misses. And it's another 3-0 count.
Well, I wonder if Jerry Malarkey is going to give him the take sign.
Well, you only have one out, and the odds of a double play are minimized with the runner at second. And there's finally a strike. That's his first strike in 7 pitches. Adam Nietzsche now. Out of that right-handed stretch. And he misses outside. We got another walk. Pair of runners now.
I'm looking down to the dugout, but Coach Barton there, looks like he's alerting his pitching staff. They're going to probably get somebody up throwing.
Well, it could be Anthony Pizzone, the hit man, is coming up. Made that fine running catch in left field to put away that final out in the top of the second inning, and now he's up at the plate with 1 out, runners at first and second.
The bullpen is alive over there at South Fayette.
Well, maybe James Barton jinxed himself when he talked to me pregame. Looking at a bunt, faking, Steele down to third, and Adam Kraske is in under the throw. The third baseman, Dylan Witt, was back in his position. The throwdown was coming from Aaron Fonner. Kraske was crashing the base, but Witt was not at the base. The throw arrived at the same time as Kraske, and Adam slides in and under. And alertly, right behind him, Joel Klein runs into scoring position. That's a stolen base for Kraske.
I think everybody was in on the play except Wilt.
It seemed that way. Well, a walk and 2 stolen bases for Adam Kraske already. There's a pitch on that outside corner, strike 2 now to Anthony Pizzone. I think one of these things that not just Anthony, but a lot of young players at this age need to learn to do, when they see those outside pitches, they've got to, they want to watch a lot as he skies that ball in the right field. Here's a tag and a play opportunity. Here comes Kraske charging home. Here comes a good throw that's cut off. Adam Kraske scores easily with the ball cut off. And that's to the advantage of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Not sure why, Dan, that ball was cut off. That was a strong throw from the right fielder, Tyler Godwin, but Adam Kraske scores on a sacrifice fly from Anthony Pizzone.
And Coach Barton doesn't understand why the ball was cut off as well. as he marched out of the dugout and just had his hands wide open looking at the first baseman. Why did he cut it off?
It'd be different if the throw were not strong. That was a tremendous throw. So it's an advantage for the Panthers, that's for sure.
We will take the ribby.
We will. Maybe we'll take some more because Gannon Rooney is now at the plate. I think the only thing that didn't make sense on that play is that Joel Klein did not advance from second base, although with a base hit he can score from that position. Rooney puts a ball up off his hands, again out to right field, and underneath it, Tyler Godwin, out number 3, but a little damage is done. It just goes to prove, don't ever walk Adam Kraske. A walk, 2 stolen bases, a sac fly, and Kraske has St. Clair up 2-0 as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Zach Walker, the left fielder, will lead things off here In the top of the third inning, Ryan Bittner settling in nicely on the mound. He certainly hasn't tired himself out in his last inning. I think he threw 5 or 6 pitches, Dan, and that's a benefit to someone who's had a lot of experience on the mound. Ryan Bittner's been a pitcher for a long time.
And this has been a quick two-inning game for him so far.
Indeed. Sharp ball right past the outstretched glove of a diving Gannon Rooney into right field. And Zach Walker has a lead-off single. That is the first hit of the day for the South Fayette Lions.
And I see Zach Walker on first base talking to Joe. Zach and Joe played elite baseball for 5 years together, so they are good friends, and he is a phenomenal athlete. He's a great football player as well, and he's actually a good pitcher.
He may be part of that good pitching. There's a good bunt laid right down. Bittner fields it cleanly. A nice sacrifice bunt by number 20, the second baseman, Pat Martinelli, and that puts a runner into scoring position in this tight game.
Textbook bunt.
Yeah.
Advance the runner.
Nice sack bunt. And the designated hitter, Brian Coyne, comes up. Walker moves over to second on the sacrifice. And Ryan Bittner goes to work on the designated hitter, missing high, head high. We watch Joel Klein keep an eye on that runner now, just in case there's anything going on. But a solid catcher in Ian Frazier. There's a ball fouled up and away. Ben Haas giving chase, but it's going to curve away and out of play. Dan and I were noting between innings, the wind direction has changed a little bit, and it's pushed much more left to right. Actually, might even be pushing out of right field a little bit. Ball's up in the air in that direction could be dangerous. Chopper to Klein. He will check the runner. He will throw quickly over to first to get the runner. And Eric Krolzik, covering third base, made sure that Zach Walker could not advance. So there's 2 down now. Brian Coyne grounding out.
Veteran move by Klein. Fields the ball and gives a good stare down to Zach Walker, daring him to come his way, and had plenty of time to make the throw over to Repashak.
Now, a lot of that is trusting a good, strong arm that you're going to make that accurate throw. So for South Fayette now, they're at the top of their order, and Aaron Fauner, the catcher, comes up. He grounded out to third base in the first inning. There's a ball that goes off the plate. Ian Frazier does a nice job of jumping out and getting in front of it to block it.
Ian is not afraid to sacrifice his body.
Well, when you're behind the plate, it's what you got to do, and he does it well. There's another chopper inside the bag. Foul ball. Plate umpire John Elliott quickly jumped on that one and saw it go just inside the bag. That ball was hopping. Hops over the bag. It is in fair territory. But as it turns out, that's a foul ball, and it gives us a 1-1 count now to Aaron Fauner. Here's Bittner out of the stretch. Nice pitch on that top outside corner. And that, Aaron Fauner is absolutely beside himself. I don't know where everybody thinks they're going. That's only a 1-2 count. And now the umpires are disputing what the count was. I'm pretty certain, Dan, that was 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now what should have happened was, if you're Zach Walker with all the St. Clair players looking to dash off, he should have dashed to third. Now John Elliott coming over to Jerry Malarkey saying, yeah, okay, here's the count. This is what we had. Yeah. I believe we had it right at 1-2. Aaron Fauner was the one who was perplexed right away when a couple of the players started to move. But, it wasn't just I could see if it was one player. There were 3 or 4 Panther players started to head off the field. All right, here is the 1-2. Big breaking pitch. Good movement. It misses, but my gosh, that was a good breaking pitch. All right, here's Bittner now with the 2-2. Chopped over, foul again. Chopped over to third, foul again.
With Ryan's motion, he's creating a lot of grounders by the batters, and the way we're playing today, it seems like nothing is getting past the infield.
Well, you want to keep, on a breezy day like this where a ball could get assisted, you certainly would rather have the balls on the ground in play than the balls in the air. There's a ball that really Fauner reaches way outside to knock away. Yeah, Ryan Bittner doing his most work here in the third inning. He pretty much breezed through inning number 1 and 2. In inning 2, we think he only threw 6 pitches. He's easily double that right now. Again, Zach Walker, the left fielder, is on first base. There's a ball in the right field. Ben Haas ranging, going back a little bit, pulls it right in. So there is that hit from Walker, the leadoff hit, and he goes to second on the sac bunt, but is stranded there. South Fayette can't come up with anything. The Panthers are coming up to bat with a 2-0 lead in just a moment. So for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, Ian Frazier will lead things off here in the bottom of the third inning, and we will lead you to Dan Repishak, who's going to talk about a couple of games that are upcoming for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Okay, this Monday, April 22nd, we have another home game against Char Valley. April 24th, we're going to be away at Bethel Park. And then Friday, we'll be back home against Cannon Mac. Followed by Monday, we'll be away at Brochure. And Wednesday, away at Peters. And then we're back home again for 2 games, May 3rd against Mount Lebanon, May 4th against Hempfield. And then we close it out with 2 away games against Pine Richland and Hampton.
Well, that'll take us all the way. Yeah, that'll take us through May 9th, and we hope to deliver several of more of those games for you here on our public access channel. Again, if you're watching on a Verizon service, it's number 42 on your channel lineup, and if you're watching on Comcast, it is 7. And Ian Frazier is watching a ball that just misses a breaking pitch from Adam Nietzsche. That misses inside for ball number 1 here to start things off in the top of the third. Frazier squares away, skies it, up and back and foul.
I talked with Ian's dad, and he said that every night Ian takes the tee out and hits 50 balls into a net in his backyard.
I'm surprised it's only 50. He has really great bat instincts. He has great baseball instincts up and down the line, has for years. Most intense young man when he's on the field. And pretty smart in the classroom. Does a nice job. Now he's looking at a 2-1. Nietzsche delivering. That ball up and in.
Keith, if you look at the roster, that's one thing I'll say about this group of boys. I think their collective IQ is about 3.9. They're all. I mean, they are very intelligent kids.
That certainly helps. Baseball, a game of intellect, that's for sure. Frazier swinging hard and threw that one, tips it and fouls it right back to the screen. Yeah, student athlete. Sometimes that's a misnomer in some sports, not in this sport, not with this team right now. Full count to Frazier. Adam Nietzsche delivers with his infield straight away. Frazier's going to knock that one through, and didn't take a large IQ to hit that ball where he did. A nice play for Ian Frazier and a base hit, and he's on board again.
Nice gapper right between third and short, and the guys just could not get to it. Great hit.
Yeah, he split the seam between the third baseman Dylan Wilt and Justin Foreman. And that's a real positive as we get our leadoff man on here. And that brings up Eric Krolzik, who's playing shortstop today to start things off. Ian Frazier at first, a threat to steal. Pitch on the inside corner. Most of the strikes Adam Nietzsche has got on Panther batters today has been either on the outside corner or some high cheese. That one was maybe his first strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Krolzik puts the bat on the ball. Custom-made double play, but Ian Frazier got such a good jump on it. Justin Foreman could not get him, and he's got to go and get Eric Krolzik going down. Good base running by Frazier puts him in scoring position. And Eric Krolzik winds up with a ground out there, but a quality at bat to advance the runner.
Now batting, Joe Repishak.
A scoring opportunity for Joe Repishak with Frazier at second now. Joe walked in the first inning. And Joe managed to walk after he had that foul ball drop between 3 South Fayette players along the first baseline. The catcher, the first baseman, and the pitcher. They all came over and just looked at it, and it went plop, and Joe came back and got the walk. looking for a little more than a walk now, I think. Ooh, did he check? I think he did. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, he did check it.
Yep, he did check it. That was the confirmation from the field umpire, Bill Connor.
Boy, with this wind blowing out to the right, I'd like to see a nice shot to right center. How about that?
Something in that gap could really. Now, of course, any ball here is going to allow Ian Frazier to score. He has wheels from second base, and he'll always get the maximum lead possible. Sometimes he gets himself out there where it's a little scary, but that'll be the case. But yeah, a ball could carry very neatly to right field here with the wind today, Dan. You are correct. All right, Repechak now with a 2-1 pitch. All right, here is Adam Neitz. Oh, that ball hit hard to center field. That one is going to carry. That's going to get over the center fielder's head. Ian Frazier coming around third. He's going to score easily without a play, and it's an RBI single for Joe Repechak.
I tell you, weren't we just talking about taking it to right center? It was a little closer. This was over the left side of the center field. There was a deep shot, went all the way back to the wall. Great shot by Joe Repechak.
Well, the Panthers continue to chip away. They pick up another run now. It's a 3-0 lead with Joe Repechak knocking that ball in and driving home Ian Frazier, and that brings Ben Haas up to the plate. There's a pitch outside by Nietzsche. You can hear the wind blowing through the microphones, perhaps. It's gusting now and blowing much more steadily than it was when this game started. The good news is, with some sunshine, we're staying away from any rain. There's a ball just clipping the corner. And Ben Haas is quickly looking at a 1-1 situation. Yeah, first base coach Christopher Wheeler talking with Joe Repechak down there. Again, we knew a breakout inning would be nice. There's another pitch up and in on Ben Haas. Just like his last at-bat, he had a ball that was right in his eyes. He barely flinched on either one.
I'll tell you what.
Fearless. I mean, he could have counted all 108 stitches on the baseball. That's how close it came. There's a ball right over the plate. Ben fouls it away. There's another young man. He steps onto the baseball field pretty serious. He gets pretty serious about playing the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's serious now about a 2-2 count. Repechak going, ball right up through the middle. Joe Repechak was on the move with that pitch.
Great shot by Ben Haas. Again, he waited for his pitch, and he took it right up the gap and in the center field, and it was hit so hard that Joe actually had to hold up. He was thinking about going to third, but he just it was too hard of a hit ball.
And a credit to the center fielder, Michael Fayette. He started to come in on that ball right away because he knew what was going on. He saw Joe Repechak moving. So now for the Panthers, Thomas Steve, the designated hitter. And this is what you want now with a left-hander at the plate. He can knock the ball behind the runners. He shows bunt, does not.
Smartly pulled back that bat. It was definitely an outside pitch, and he pulled that back, his bat backwards, and took the ball.
Ben Haas at first, Joe Repechak at second. Again, looking to square, but no, ball is back. One away here in the bottom of the third. The Panthers with 3 runs, just scoring another one this inning. And now this bunt situation has the third baseman, Dylan Witt, in on the grass by a good 5 or 6 feet. Or more. He's creeping a little bit. There's a ball that drops dead right down behind the feet of Aaron Fauner. He's quickly on top of it. And Repechak cannot advance.
Joe saw the ball get past him, but he didn't know how far, so he...
Well, play it safe right now.
Play it safe with one out, right.
Exactly, yep. It's a 3-0 count to Thomas Steve, the designated hitter. Right down the pipe, as they say. Now it's a 3-1. You got the take on that one, just in case. Adam Kraske on deck. Adam generated quite the run last inning. With the walk, a pair of stolen bases, and then coming home. There's a bunt right over to Witt, down at third. Beautiful little sack bunt. Beautiful little sack bunt. Executed perfectly, advances both runners.
Like a surgeon, he laid it right down the third base side, forcing the third baseman to make the play on it, leaving the base wide open. Joe could have walked over to third base. Great play by Thomas Steve.
I'll tell you what, in a game, in a team that's known for hitting the ball pretty solidly, it's nice to see a game where we have a couple of sack months already. And there's a pitch to the backstop all the way. Here comes the play at the plate. And Joe Repeshak slides in. He took advantage of that wild pitch and managed to dash home with another run number 4 in the afternoon for the Panthers.
There was no doubt about it. There was no hesitation. Joe saw the ball go back to the wall, and he made a run for it, and he got in there just in the nick of time. Great play by Joe Repeshak.
Now, the wild pitch by Nietzsche, it was way high. There was no way Aaron Fonner was going to get it. The only thing that made it exciting was it bounced off the brick and looked to come home. There's a chopper foul by Adam Kraske.
A lot of times, somebody who's on third base, they'll hesitate, and then take off, and sometimes that little delay is what will get you out.
Well, the only thing is, if that ball, because of the brick, the bottom here in this backstop, if that ball had bounced, and I've seen this happen, there's a chopper foul. I've seen this happen, Dan, where if that ball bounces right back off the brick right to the catcher.
It's a ricochet effect right back at him.
And you could be a dead man at the plate.
Right.
However, that was not the case. Aaron Fonner almost made it a play, though. But Joe Repeshak scores, and it's 4-0 Panthers. Kraske cranks the ball. That's going to drop in front. That's going to be a run. And it drops in front of the left fielder, Walker. And Adam Kraske comes through, manufacturing another run for the Panthers today.
He can steal bases. He has lightning speed, and now he's hitting the cover off the ball. That was a shot. It dropped right in there, right over the third baseman's head. Great shot.
And Ben Haas trots home with that one. And now Kraske going down. And that's going to be a stolen base. Loose ball into center field. Kraske's going to come to third. Adam Kraske.
What a playmaker.
Is out there doing it. He's almost a one-man wrecking machine right now. Brilliant heads-up base running by Adam Kraske, because the tendency to throw is to, when you slide into second, is just kind of go, well, I've made it to second and I'm here. He popped up right away and took off without hesitation. Fantastic. Fun stuff for the Panthers. Joe Klein fouls one off.
South Fayette better watch out. I think he's going to take home, too.
Well, it's been a while, but anything is possible right now. So we got a stolen base number 3 on the day for Adam Kraske. There's a nice hit out to left field. Walker gets under
Good
it.
inning.
And that puts an end to this inning as Joel Klein flies out to left field. But the Panthers put 1, 2, 3 on the board, and they open up a 5-0 lead with the South Fayette Lions coming to bat in the top of the 4th inning in just a moment. Center fielder Michael Fayette, wearing number 13, will start things off here in the 4th inning for the Lions. Tyler Godwin on deck, and Dylan Witt is also looking to make an appearance at the plate here. Ryan Bittner delivers, and that ball is fouled away. Dan Ryan, a big, sturdy pitcher, but boy, he's had a really pretty compact day in terms of pitch counts.
A very efficient game, putting the ball around the strike zone and having a good defensive game for Upper St. Clair.
There's a nice breaking pitch that comes in, and it certainly helps when your teammates give you 5 runs to work with. A 5-0 lead right now. South Fayette trying to get something going here this afternoon. Here's the wind up the pitch off the 0-2, chopped away over to third base.
Fayette he looks like a pretty athletic-looking kid there. He's tall, strapping.
No, you can't be anything but a little bit of a speedster and an athlete to play center field, that's for sure. He fouls that one away to keep alive.
I remember Michael Fayette in the Pee Wee football games whenever we would play South Fayette. He was always the one making all the touchdowns.
Now this ain't Pee Wee now, and that is a strike on the outside corner. He cannot believe it. Ryan Bittner with a nice breaking pitch that catches the outside corner, and a strikeout looking here to start things off in the top of the 4th inning. That's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Ryan Bittner. Tyler Godwin steps in. He skies that ball back towards Adam Kraske. He drifts over very easily, and that's out number 2.
On a windy day like this, if there was no wind today, I think that ball would have probably traveled a little bit further. That was a well-hit ball.
Third baseman, Dylan Witt, coming up. You won't miss him with the white helmet. Very distinctive. Breaking pitch from Bittner, misses inside.
Just like the first 3 innings, hopefully this is turning out to be a quick one here.
It's moving right along. There's a ball that's hit over towards right field. Ben Haas taking a handful of steps over to his left. He grabs it, can of corn, and there's quickly 3 up, 3 down here. That's the 4th inning, top of, headed to the bottom in just a moment with the Panthers coming to bat. So as the Panthers get ready to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning, there is a pitching change for the South Fayette Lions.
And that is Drake Bauer, another lefty. Keith, we've been seeing, I think 70% of the pitchers that we have played against have been lefties.
Drake Bauer, wearing number 25, is a hard-throwing lefty. He's one of those guys that James Barton, their manager, says is really one of the strengths of their pitching core, and he gets the entire pitching core back next year, Dan. I think the South Fayette Lions will be heard from next year big time, although they still can make a mark this season. There's no question about it.
I tell you, Barton knows how to win games. He is a fierce competitor, and I think he's going to pour that into this young, growing team, South Fayette.
Anthony Pizzone is the first batter to face Drake Bauer. The left-hander wheels, delivers inside. That's ball 1. Again, it's 5-0 Panthers as they bat here in the bottom of the 4th. There's a ball missing just at the top of the zone, ball number 2. Anthony Pizzone had a walk and scored in the first run of the game in the first inning and had a beautiful little sacrifice fly in the second inning that scored the second run of the game. So Anthony is factored into about 40% of the scoring so far here today. Looks to do more of it. There's a pitch, crosses the inside corner. Very nice strike right now from Drake Bauer in relief of Adam Each. 3-1 the count. Working quickly, too. There's a ball up towards the right field corner, but that's going to go way foul. Getting pushed by that
Drake's
wind.
first 3 pitches were right around the strike zone, and his last 2 pitches were right down the middle.
Good look at Anthony Pizzone. Good stance. That's a ball that really misses. That's not what he intended at all. And there's another walk, his second of the day for Anthony Pizzone, leadoff runner on board for the Panthers. And Gannon Rooney coming to the plate.
Well, that last pitch, it looked like he actually took a stutter step, and the ball kind of came out of his hands in at a kind of a weird angle and came in too high.
Gannon Rooney steps out, looks for the sign. Pizzone at first, looking to bunt, and bunts it foul. That ball up and away, probably should have pulled back.
I think every inning, I think the opening hitter for Upper St. Clair has got on board.
Other than the start of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep, Joel Klein struck out to start the game. Other than that, every inning we've got a leadoff man who's got out there. And even some who didn't. Like Adam Grasky. Doesn't matter where he bats. I think he's getting on today. So, Pizzone now looking for the lead. That looks like a pitch out there. I don't think that was a pitch that missed. I think that was intentionally out. They were thinking that Pizzone was jumping. Anthony, not the fastest guy, but a smart base runner. Gets a good jump. Makes the best of all the tools and the speed that he does have. Gannon Rooney looks at an outside pitch, and that misses.
Bauer's making the adjustment from a full windup to a stretch.
Drake Bauer for the Lions, throwing over now. The zone comes back easily. Hayden Orler at first base. Here's Gannon Rooney looking at a ball, gets underneath it, Fayette going back in center field, and he grabs finally that long fly ball from Gannon Rooney. And Anthony Pizzone will retreat to first base. There's one away here.
I can't get over how much power Gannon Rooney has. He's not a tall kid, and just the power kind of reminds me of a famous center fielder for the Pirates right now, who is hitting the ball.
Ian Frazier, the catcher, at the plate. Another throw over to keep Anthony Pizzone honest. You're talking about that McCutcheon guy, aren't you?
Right. I don't even think he's 6 foot tall, is he?
I've had the pleasure. Frazier looks at the ball come inside. I've had the pleasure of meeting McCutcheon, and Andrew is no taller than me, and I'm about 5'10" on a good day when I'm standing up straight. But it's what you get out of it, you know. Ground ball to short. This could be a double play. Frazier's fast enough. Pizzone does a nice job of sliding in to break up the double play turn by Pat Martinelli. And it's a fielder's choice that puts Ian Frazier on base and sends Anthony Pizzone over to the dugout.
Now batting, Eric Krolzik.
That's a 6'4" fielder's choice. Eric Krolzik comes up now. That will be 2 down, and Frazier at first.
Good pitch.
Nice pitch. Nice pitch by Drake Bauer. Again, Bauer in for Adam Neach. Neach pitched the first 3 innings for the South Fayette Lions. Here in the bottom of the 4th, he looks at Eric Krolzik driving that ball, and Fayette makes a wonderful catch out in center field. What a wonderful running catch by Michael Fayette as that ball was headed towards that left center field gap.
What a play. He just laid out for that and just sucked the ball in and robbed Eric of a fantastic hit.
Well, Eric Krolzik winds up with nothing more than an F8. That effort goes as nothing more than an F8, and we will go to the top of the 5th in just a moment. That's Ian Frazier at the plate as he is warming up Ryan Bittner here, headed into the top of the 5th inning as the Upper St. Clair Panthers this afternoon are leading the South Fayette Lions 5-0. I'm Keith James. Dan Repachek is over here. I see the next game up for South Fayette is on April 22nd. They have Central Valley, which of course is out in Monaca, that combination. And that last game they had was back on the 16th. They had a 15-4 win against Waynesburg Central. That's their biggest win. And just all the bats and everything was going right for them right then, Dan. South
Fayette is right in the middle. They're right in the middle of their section right now, and if they can pull together a couple of wins here, they are going to secure one of those 3 spots going into the playoffs.
Well, they see if they have the talent. Their manager James Barton believes so. So here's Ryan Bittner with his first offering to their leadoff batter this inning, Justin Foreman.
That's how you want to start the 5th inning.
Yeah, nice breaking pitch. Maybe even a wind assist on that pitch, too. Foreman swings through this one. Manages to get a piece of it. Strike number 2. They've had wins against Waynesburg, McGuffey, and Cannon Mac. They've lost to Keystone Oaks. They had a tough loss, according to Mr. Barton, against Trinity. There's a foul ball over towards the dugout. And they've also lost to West Allegheny.
They have a very good team in their section. Char Valley, I think are they undefeated? I think they're undefeated.
If they're not undefeated, they haven't lost many, that's for sure. There's another foul pitch. I think it's interesting to note that James Barton told me they had the one game that they had a pitcher with 13 strikeouts. They lost the game because the other pitcher picked off 6 base runners. But his comment was that other pitcher was balking and the umpires weren't calling it, and then that same pitcher, in the next time he appeared against another team, picked off 5 runners.
Wow.
That's 11 runners in 2 pitching appearances. You got to be doing something wrong on the mound, or getting away with something, I should say. There's a pitch down and in. That'll be a ball. That's a 1-2. Again, you're looking at Justin Foreman at the plate. We're at Boyce Mayview Field here. It's a lovely Saturday. A little cool. Not nasty, but cool. There's a ball popped right up. Adam Kraske barely going to have to move. 4 or 5 steps, And that's an easy fly out. Justin Foreman goes down, out number 1 in the inning. And the first baseman, Hayden Orler, will come up to the plate. And in the second inning, his first at-bat, he had flied out to left field. That was that nice running catch that Anthony Pizzone made. So here's Orler. And Ryan Bittner's pitch goes outside. Panthers settled in, infield straight away. Nothing out of the ordinary. From their perspective, it's been pretty much a straight up and down day, Dan.
Textbook.
Almost, yeah. Almost.
Put the ball in play, throw it around the strike zone, play good defense.
You know, I was watching, Bull Durham was on just the other day. There's a chopper that's going to go foul. Joel Klein with a nice diving play. It's a shame it was a foul ball. It was a beautiful play down at third base. Watching Bull Durham and the scene where the manager comes into the locker room and says it's an easy game. He gives the team a chewing out because he calls them lollygaggers, but he goes, it's a simple game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball. Brilliant. There's a big ripping foul ball by Hayden Euler.
One of the great baseball movies.
That is a pretty good one. 1-2 the count now from Bittner. I find it interesting right now. They're playing a lot of the baseball movies, it seems to me anyway, during baseball season. Usually I find them played during the off season. Either that or I'm seeing them so much or I'm watching too much television. I don't know what. Oh, dear. But that was a great scene. And absolutely, if you haven't seen it, look it up. It is a great scene. 2-2 the count now. Ryan delivers. There's a shot. That's going to go to right field into the corner. Curving foul. Boy, that would have been trouble if it got to the corner, Dan.
I'll tell you what, it looked like it went about 500 feet foul.
That ball just kept moving. And again, that may be a testament to the wind that's blowing left to right here at Boyce Mayview Field today. Here's a chop, little pop. Right out to shortstop. Eric Krolzik easily grabs it. And that is out number 2.
Throwing the ball around.
All right, here comes Zach Walker. And he owns the only hit today thus far for the South Fayette Lions. And that was a single back in the third inning. He did manage to advance to second base on the sacrifice bunt by Pat Martinelli. And he was stranded there. He looks at a ball, chops one just over the outstretched jump of Gannon Rooney, and a ball that gets behind Ben Haas. Kraske covers and throws that ball right back in to second base to keep Walker from advancing, but he gets a clean base hit.
Heads up play by Kraske. He backed up Ben. It actually was right at Ben and took a little bit of a hop and went under his glove. And Kraske, the speedster, was right there to mop up and make sure it wasn't an extra base hit.
He saved a base and kept a man out of scoring position.
So now he's doing everything on the defensive side as well.
Side. We're not surprised. All right, with ball number 1 to Pat Martinelli now. Walker takes a short lead. Ryan Bittner gets it even with a strike at 1-1. Martinelli sacrificed Walker over in the third inning. He cannot do that this inning. Goes 2 away. Pops the ball up over the first base side near the dugout. Repechak cannot get there in time. He and Ryan Bittner were both given chase, but that ball was hit in that perfect spot where it can drop without harm.
Walker's hit, I think it was the exact same hit that he had last at bat.
Yeah, it was pretty close, that's for sure. 2 hits given up today then, so far, by Ryan Bittner. And with that foul ball, it's a 1-2. He just misses with that breaking pitch, and it's 2-2.
Bittner was going to walk off the mound. He thought that was a strike.
Well, from our vantage point, I thought as well. Home plate umpire John Elliott otherwise. There's another breaking pitch. This one flares over to right field. Haas comes up with it. And that is a little flare base hit for Pat Martinelli. And that will move Zach Walker over to second base. And it's hit number 3 on the afternoon for the South Fayette Lions.
South Fayette trying to get something going here.
Well, of course, when you have a team up, when you're up on a team, I should say, 5-0, you want to keep them right there. You don't want a talented team like the South Fayette Lions to get a jump. Brian Coyne, the designated hitter at the plate. And he goes down and chats with James Barton about some strategy with a runner in scoring position in the person of Zach Walker and Pat Martinelli on first.
I think Coach Barton was questioning why he swung at that pitch. It was clearly not a strike, and he swung at it to the benefit of Upper St. Clair.
Well, those high pitches are hard to stay off of at any level. There's a breaking ball that looks like it misses, and it's 1-1. So after not much going on offensively for South Fayette, they've put 2 nice hits together here in the 5th inning. Here's a chopper over to short. Krolzik quickly flips for the force at second, and no damage is done on the scoreboard if you're a Panther fan. And the Panthers managed to hang on to a 5-0 lead and come into their half of the inning with their batsmen coming up. And coming up for them, we'll see Joe Repeshak, Ben Haas, and Thomas Steve in just a moment.
Now batting.
Joe Repeshak is going to lead things off here for the Upper St. Clair Panthers in the bottom of the 5th inning. In the first inning, Joe walked and then was part of a fielder's choice to wrap up that inning. And then in the 3rd inning, he had a single and managed to score on a wild pitch. And he scored the 4th run of the game for the Panthers. And he will face the substitute left-hander, Drake Bauer. Bauer starting to work his 2nd inning now in relief of Adam Nietzsche. There's a strike to Joe.
Joe's last at bat was a deep shot to center field, right over the center fielder's head.
There's a breaking pitch that doesn't want to break enough to come in. That evens the count at 1-1. Again, if you're watching this game and you're just catching it, it'll be rebroadcast a number of times on our public access channel here in the South Hills. If you're a Comcast customer, that'll be channel 7, and if you're a Verizon customer, it'll be 42. And please check the schedules that are broadcast or that are televised to find out when these replays happen. There are multiple replays as well. Glenn Ward, who operates that system, manages to put the games on several times. I've been fortunate enough to catch them a couple of times partial and then once or twice whole. And it's kind of fun. All right, here's a 3-2 shot right at the left fielder, and it's going to go off his glove. Repeshak rounding first. He's headed hard to second. Here comes the throw. It'll be behind him, and he is there with a hard shot double into left field.
I'll tell you what, it was right down the middle, and Joe just roped it right into left field. It ricocheted off the left fielder, and great hit by Joe Repeshak.
Zach Walker cannot be charged with an error on that ball. It was sinking, maybe even going away from him, curving, and that ball had all kinds of juice on it. So Repeshak is at second base now with that leadoff double. Ben Haas comes up now. And Ben had hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning and had a single in the 3rd and scored himself in the 3rd inning. And now here he is at the plate again in inning number 5. He's going to bunt up in the air. That's dangerous. And it is caught. That is caught by Aaron Fauner. Oh, boy. What a nice play by Aaron Fauner to stretch out and catch that bunt. Popped up inadvertently in the air by Ben Haas.
That is very difficult to do. You have your mask on. You have to take your mask off and have the presence of mind to find where the ball is. In a nanosecond, he saw it going to the ground and dived and snagged it. Great play.
And a credit to Joe Repeshak at second. You would be charging to third with a bunt being laid down. He quickly got back to second base, so he was not doubled up. I don't know if Fauner on the ground could have thrown to second base, but nonetheless, good heads-up base running by Joe Repeshak. Thomas Steve at the plate now. No, I'm sorry. That is not Thomas Steve.
Mike Stevenson.
Mike Stevenson in as a pinch hitter for the designated hitter, Thomas Steve. Mike Stevenson, a senior, He was a pinch runner earlier in the game. He has good contact and has great speed on the base paths.
Michael has platooned as the left fielder as well this year.
I was going to say, he's played for me in the past. There's a throw down to third base. Joe Repeshak gets it. The ball gets past the third baseman, and Joe Repeshak is going to easily score on the throwing error.
Heads up play by Jerry Malarkey, sending Joe to third. Joe had to really get over there quick. It was a good pitch. The catcher threw down. It was a ball in the dirt, and Joe did a great job beating the tag and got that extra base hit on that pass ball into left field. Great job.
Well, he scores the run with the stolen base and that throwing errors. The ball goes awry, and the St. Clair Panthers have themselves an opportunity now to break this game wide open with a 6-0 lead. Mike Stevenson looks at a strike on the inside. Can't believe it. Look at disbelief on Mike's face there as he goes down looking. Out number 2.
I think Repeshak is challenging Kraske for MVP this game. Two hits, stolen bases, extra bases.
No, it is a team game and a team effort, that is for sure. The Panthers doing that right now today. And speaking of Adam Kraske, there he is at the plate looking at a ball. That makes that count 1-1. Drake Bauer, the lefty on the mound. Here's his delivery. Boy, he's throwing with authority, Dan. It's too bad there's some miscues behind him.
I got to believe that a little bit of frustration on the part of the pitcher is adding about 5 miles speed to his pitch.
This looks like this will be an unassisted play, but a close one with Kraske speed. However, Hayden Euler manages to put him away, and that wraps up inning number 5, the bottom thereof. The Panthers managed to get another run, and they have upped the score now 6-0. South Fayette coming to the plate in just a moment. We're going to the top of the order for the South Fayette Lions. That'll mean Aaron Fonner, the catcher, followed by Michael Fetchett, the center fielder, and Tyler Godwin, the right fielder, as they're still continuing to look at Ryan Bittner on the mound, who is pitching a pretty strong game. Here's a chopper to Joel Klein off this first pitch, sets his feet, long throw, one away.
Another fine play by Joel Klein. The ball came at him. He set up fine, fielded the ball on his left side, and came up throwing. Solid throw right to Joe Repeshak.
Center fielder Michael Fetchett up now. Ryan Bittner working with giving up just 3 hits today and some solid fielding behind him. There's a fly ball. Anthony Bazzone running Adam Kraske over as he pulls it down in center field, and there are 2 pitches, 2 gone.
Keith, that ball was it was hit very, very high, and I was watching it go from left to right along. If you look at the flag, it's gusting from left to right outside of the right field.
There's a chopper just past the glove of Bittner. Krolzik up with it at short. Quick throw, and there's a close play at first base, but they got him. Tyler Godwin goes down. A quick 3-pitch
inning
for Ryan Bittner. And the St. Clair Panthers will quickly get back to the plate. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away. Joel Klein will lead things off for Upper St. Clair here in inning number 6, the bottom thereof. Anthony Pizzone and Gannon Rooney on deck. And again, they're facing the left-hander Drake Bauer as a ball gets hit foul. Joel Klein struck out to start the game in the first, had a walk in the second, advanced to second. Nothing happened there, and flied out to left field in the third inning. Here he is in inning number 6, coming to the plate again, and he looks at a strike there to quickly go 0-2.
The umpire's giving the pitcher that inside strike.
Well, he's throwing with authority, and whatever pitch he's trying to throw outside to break in isn't working. That's about the 3rd time Drake Bauer's had that pitch. You can tell it's not coming off his fingers correctly. And it misses way outside to make the count 1-2 to Joel Klein. This pitch comes in very close to the head.
Well, now is not the time to be experimenting on the mound.
I'm not so sure it was an experiment. Could be, it's cold. We talked about how
Sure.
chilly it is today. His fingers just not maybe don't grip the ball the way they should. He misses outside there. And that count runs full. Yeah, it just may be that, Dan. It is chilly enough here. Drake Bauer misses low. Joel Klein will go on base again. And another leadoff batter for St. Clair reaching the base. Anthony Pizzone.
I would like to know what Joel's on-base percentage is. It seems like he is on the bases more than he isn't.
I'm sure it's high. I'm sure it's high for several of these guys. Oh, he just barely got back there.
He caught him flat-footed.
Yeah, a little brain freeze over there, and Drake Bauer with a faster move over to Hayden Orler might have had Joel Klein. Now Joel's on his toes. As Anthony Pizzone is at the plate, he ducks to have a ball go over his head. Anthony walked in the first and scored, had a sac fly in the second inning, and walked in the fourth, but was erased on a fielder's choice. Swing on a miss with a nice little break. 6-0 Panthers. 1-1 the count, bottom of the sixth. A nice throw over there. Now he wouldn't have got Joel Klein. Ball goes in the dirt. Hayden Orler knocks it down just enough that it doesn't go by. Otherwise, Joel could have been at second base. There's a chop. That's going to go foul.
Bauer has a real sneaky move the first. Did you notice that?
Well, a lot of those left-handers, of course, have that advantage being opened up that way. But, yeah, I agree. He's, I don't know, something about his body angle or something. Certainly on that first one, he nearly caught Joel Klein. Now the pitch to Pizzone. That one gets away from Fauner. He's going to freeze, knocks it down. That's a good backstop by Aaron Fauner, the catcher for South Fayette, as he keeps that ball from going too far away, which would have allowed Joel Klein to advance. So instead it's a ball. It's 2-2 to Anthony Pizzone. This one's up in the air, fouled. Over behind first base.
I notice when Bauer comes to the plate and he throws over to first, he's actually looking towards the catcher. Maybe that's what's fooling the runner.
Well, he just fooled Anthony Pizzone with that pitch as Anthony goes down swinging with a strikeout there. And that is one of only a handful of strikeouts, only 3 strikeouts on the day for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. So there's one away, and Gannon Rooney is going to come over to the plate. Umpire John Elliott had gone over to the bench for some reason, the Upper St. Clair bench. Took a brief pause there, and now he's back behind the plate. Bauer throws over again. That's about 4 or 5 throwovers. Very concerned and working on keeping Joel Klein at first base after that leadoff walk. Looking at a bunt. Gannon Rooney shows it. Throw down. Goes to the wrong side of the bag. They might have had Joel Klein otherwise with a throw to the right-hand side of the bag, but it's not, and Joel Klein has himself a nifty stolen base.
And Joel had a great jump. As the pitcher threw the ball, he was almost halfway there already. Great play by Joel.
Gannon Rooney now with an 0-1 count, and a runner in scoring position looks at another pitch nicely come inside from Bauer, and that is strike number 2. Justin Foreman going behind Joel Klein, trying to keep him honest, and the umpire says no pitch. It looked like no pitch for some reason.
Rooney was asking for time, and the umpire gave it to him.
Well, John Elliott says nope, and the pitch came in, didn't count. There's a pitch that's outside, throw down behind Joel Klein. He's going to get back and be safe at second base. Maybe a bit of strategy by Gannon Rooney asking for time as he gets the ball there. Joel Klein's got to be very careful. They're very sensitive to Joel being on base. It's now Pat Martinelli, the second baseman's over, very tight to him at second. Maybe paying too much attention to Joel Klein. Martinelli almost on top of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to do it, though. And strike three looking. Gannon Rooney goes down looking on a pitch that just catches the outside of that corner. And that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the second. And that'll leave it up to Ian Frazier, who comes to the plate to see if he can punch something in to knock Joel Klein home. You got a little quick look at Ian Frazier's batting stance there. Hands back, bat wiggles just a little bit. Balance in his set with his legs and everything. Digs in just a little bit. You can see he's just a well-balanced, straight up and down hitter in that regard. Slight crouch. Good hands to the ball. Very quick hands, Dan.
And as I said, he practices every night.
Oh, good practice there. He hits it hard, but that goes right to the left fielder, Zach Walker. Lots on the baseball, but right at him. And Ian Frazier records that out, number 3 here with an F7. And that takes us to the top of the 7th inning. St. Clair is ahead 6-0. South Fayette coming to bat. So this could be the last hurrah for the South Fayette Lions here this afternoon at Boyce Mayview Field as they're trailing 6-0. And they will send their third baseman, Dylan Witt, number 18, to the plate first. Justin Foreman should be right behind him, and Hayden Euler for the South Fayette Lions. And as James Barton is trying to mold this younger team, again, they have only 5 seniors. He's trying to mold them into something that is a little more competitive, plays maybe a little better fundamental baseball.
And Ryan Bittner could actually be the first Upper St. Clair pitcher to go the entire game
this season. This season, yep, indeed. There's a ball that's chopped foul. Ryan with pretty good form. You're looking at Joe Repishak in the distance there. And Ryan Bittner has certainly earned going the distance. 3 hits today. Now, he's only had the one. This is funny. When you're pitching that well, he's had 1 strikeout. That's what's really interesting. But he's had such efficient innings. I mean, the one inning he threw 3 or 4 pitches and bing, 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 he was out of the inning. He's had a couple of very efficient innings.
And he's consistent. He's methodical. Tries to put the ball around the strike zone.
Yep, and he is doing that. He just misses on that one at the top of the zone for a 2-1 count to Dylan Witt. That ball's going to miss low and away. But, yeah, there's no question, and he's had that nice glove work behind him. I mean, there was a fine catch by Anthony Pizzone in left. Joel Klein has done a great job at third base. Heads-up play by Eric Krolzik at second. And maybe we ought to stop talking it up too much as he walks a batter, although he's had a couple of walks. I'll take that back. He has not. That's his first walk of the day. That's his first walk of the day. It seemed to me he had had 1 or 2, but no. So Dylan Witt is on base. That's a leadoff runner for South Fayette. Only the second time today that they've been in that situation. And Justin Foreman, the shortstop, is up at the plate, and he looks at a strike number 1. Now, the good news is in a 6-0 lead, a nice swing and strike there. You don't have to worry about the base runner very much. So Ryan Bittner can concentrate much more on the batter. You'd still like to take a look at the base runner and let him know
that he is.
Yeah, exactly. There's a breaking pitch that didn't.
I don't think Ryan was fazed at all by that walk.
Well, walks happen, part of the game. You don't want them. They can hurt you. But with a 6-0 lead, you've got a little bit of that margin to work with, and knowing that, and knowing the kind of gloves that he has behind him. I mean, look out, good gosh, we're infield rich. We have a number of players who can play the infield. But when you have Joel Klein, Eric Krolzik, and Gannon Rooney, and then Joe Repishak at first, you've got a lot of confidence in what's there.
No doubt about it.
He has confidence in his own stuff right there. A swinging high strike by Justin Foreman. And that is strikeout number 2 for Ryan Bittner that he throws, and there's one away.
That was probably his strongest pitch of the day there.
Well, that's another interesting thing, that here we are in this game that's been a little cooler, and he's had stretches with some of the better innings that the Panthers have had where he sat in the dugout a while. He does appear to be stronger now.
And he really looks calm out there. He's walking around. This is the final. I mean, taking his time, he's staying consistent. A lot of time a pitcher will get a little rattled and change up their speed or their style, and he just cools a cucumber out there.
No problem at all for Ryan Bittner. Here's a chopper right back to him. Can he get 2? Over to Krolzik at second. He's going to throw to first, but not in time for the double play.
Great try by Eric. I mean, you definitely want to get the advancing out, but he almost turned that double play.
Krolzik on the bag alertly. Ryan has the ball come right back to him, and there are 2 down. So he's helped himself with a strikeout and the ball on the comebacker to the mound. So Orler is at first, and Zach Walker, who owns 2 of the 3 hits today. Zach Walker, the left fielder, is at the plate. 2 quick balls to him.
Bittner fielded that ball. He actually had to wait a little bit of a second or so to make sure that Krelzik was there to cover, and then had plenty of time to get it to him. Eric almost turned in a double play, which would have ended the game.
That is correct. Only one more out to work with for the South Fayette Lions. They have a runner at first, and they have Zach Walker at the plate, who has struck the ball well. Both of his hits were no questions. Zach Walker had 2 solid hits today off Ryan Bittner. Now the Panthers looking to improve their overall play. The section's another question. And that pitch misses high, and that is walk number 2 in this inning.
Keith, I'm not so worried about that second walk. I mean, the way that Zach Walker is smashing the ball, I'll take my chances with the next hitter here.
Well, he's had a pretty good OBP today. He's been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. So Walker goes to first, Orler to second. Pat Martinelli now, the second baseman, comes up. And Martinelli, back in the 5th inning, had a base hit. And that was only the 3rd hit of the day for the South Fayette Lions. Now there's a timeout called as umpire Bill Connor is at the mound with Ryan Bittner. And that was a new baseball, so he's rubbing it up. And only an umpire can do that.
I did not know that.
That is correct.
Does he have that Georgia clay in his pocket to rub it up?
That special mud. Well, they're supposed to do it before the game. I don't know at this level, but nonetheless, that is something that, and Ryan Bittner alertly just said, hey, I got a new ball here. He didn't even attempt to do it, because if he does it, that's trouble. All right, there's a 1-1 count now. Foul back to the screen by Pat Martinelli. And with 2 out here in the 7th inning and a 6-0 lead, the Panthers are within 1 strike of wrapping up a victory this afternoon. Infield pretty much straight away. They're not even bothering with the runner, Dan. Hayden Orler is out at second base. They're not even Eric Krolzik, Gannon Rooney, neither one of them even attempting to hold him. They know he's not going to try and steal. They got one more out to work with. Here's the pitch. Oh, it hits him. It comes in on Pat Martinelli, and he is hit. That ball looked like it curved in on him, and now the umpires are going to discuss whether that was a foul ball or not. They're saying it was a foul ball. Martinelli must believe it's a foul ball because he's not even attempting to go down to first. There is discussion between the 2 umpires. You can see him on your screen. That's John Ellion, the home plate umpire, and Bill Connor, and they're talking to get it right.
I don't know if that was a defensive swing to get out of the way of the ball.
It was very unusual, and when he fell, I thought he fell because he was hit, because the ball came in strongly on him. Nonetheless, Martinelli made no move to go to first, got up, maybe embarrassed if anything, and now he looks at a foul ball and he looks at a 2-2 count. That ball skips away. It's behind Ian Frazier. Runners advance. Ian not too upset with that pass ball, as those runners again represent only 2 runs with a 6-0 lead. You're pretty confident. Nonetheless, you'd like to get it over with. So for Martinelli, the count goes full 3-2. Hits this ball in the air. It is chopped in early on it. Ben Haas gathers
nice
it in.
play.
And that is out number 3, and that is the ball game. And the Panthers do a nice job defensively and an even better job at the plate, and they wrap up a 6-0 win this afternoon.
I am very impressed with Upper St. Clair. They're midway through the season. This is a win that they absolutely needed, and the good news is we have a whole second half of the season. They have a very good shot of moving up in the ranks, and with a real nice run, Keith, they can actually secure maybe that second or third spot into the playoffs.
Indeed, and today was a nice job against the South Fayette Lions, again coming in with some strong pitching for South Fayette. No runs, 3 hits today, no errors, and they stranded 5. For the St. Clair Panthers, 6 runs on 6 hits. There were 2 errors committed by the Lions, 7 stranded base runners by the St. Clair Panthers, but the 7 men left on base, Dan, that's not representative of trouble. That's how often they were getting guys on base today. And one of those guys, Adam Kraske.
Kraske had another phenomenal game where he was doing it all, backing up plays, stealing bases, getting on base, doing what you need to do to contribute to a solid win today.
Well, a team effort up and down the line. Again, good gloves, good bats, and a good time for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. So here we go again, wrapping up another one of our telecasts. Dan, I believe we have another one coming our way pretty soon, do we not?
Yes, we do. This Monday we are going to be playing Char Valley right at home.
All right. Well, we'll try and bring you more of these games again. We hope you're enjoying them. We thank you for joining us. We thank everybody for participating, all of the crew that made it happen, the young students here today. Good camera work, getting better all the time, working on it. And again, we're enjoying the Upper St. Clair baseball success here at Boyce Mayview Field. I'm Keith James. On behalf of Dan Rapishak and the rest of the crew, we say thanks for watching and remind you today's final was the Upper St. Clair Panthers 6, South Fayette nothing. We'll see you again soon.